So hi folks, welcome to
We're on.
Yeah. We're going to do a new weekly show. It's going to be called the Weekly Catch Up. It's a very original title, isn't it?
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah, and I'm Liam Galvin, and this is my lovely other half, Yvette Rowland.
And you don't often see us, do you, at the front of the camera?
No. So what is this weekly thing going to be about, Yvette?
This weekly thing is just going to be a catch up telling you what we've been up to, what we've been filming, what we're going to film, what's coming up, because we have got a lot of plans for this channel.
Yeah, and also subscriber questions. We want you to send in every week. If you've got any questions about the channel, anything you want to know about us, anything you want to know about the people that we have on the channel, just put them in the comments. That's the word I'm looking for.
That's the word you're looking for. Well done.
This is why we never went in front of the camera before. Why didn't we? People want to know about us. Why did we never go in front of the camera originally?
Do you know, our background, we're both actors, and we never...
You wouldn't think so, with us
you wouldn't.
fluffing the words. You wouldn't,
We're trained in everything.
Yeah.
But for us, we love people. We're interested in people. So what we love to do is we love to get stories, we love to pursue people, ask them do they want to do interviews, and it never occurred for us to be at the front. So,
no, which was bizarre. We were actors. And then I suppose we started, you've got some fantastic podcast people out there now who are doing some amazing podcasts. Yeah. But actually, I think we kind of started doing those interviews years ago, probably in about 2001.
Yeah.
And we've actually been doing YouTube probably 10 or 12 years now. So, without boasting or anything like that, I suppose we were one of the first channels or first people to be doing that sort of stuff.
But we never really took it seriously because we were always doing other things because we make documentaries, so that takes us away from YouTube. So for us, we do a lot of other things. And
I kind of followed Fred Dinage, didn't I?
You followed, well, a lot of people won't know. I don't even know who Fred Dinage is.
You would know that was, he met the Krays and stuff like that. So we were sort of doing it, and then Kate Cray did Hard Bastards and things like that. So we used to make DVDs that used to go out in the shops, and the first one that we ever did was about Mad Frank Fraser, wasn't it? Yeah,
we were going to make a programme about something else, and we had a meeting at Channel 5.
Yes.
And then Channel 5 said it was actually cheaper for them to buy in product than Skippy it was, wasn't it? That takes you back. Yeah. So in actual fact, that became a no-no. And then your brother...
Yes, my brother, and I've got to say on this programme, folks, you don't really want to talk about my brother very much.
No.
That's a whole true crime kind of programme, very, very weird. But my brother actually knew Mad Frank Fraser, who was doing a one-man show. And so the first documentary that we made, which we funded ourselves, was called Mad Frank, and it was about Mad Frank Fraser. And what we tried to do was to get in as many villains as we possibly could.
And victims.
So we had people like Eric Mason in there, Norman Parker, Paddy Hill, Nick Reynolds, Albert Redding, of course, who was just sensational. Who else did we have in there? I'm trying to think. Dave Courtney, of course. Which Frank didn't like.
Yeah.
And in actual fact, you can still see this documentary out on Amazon Prime, can't you?
Yeah,
it's called Mad Frank, and we'll put the link in the description below.
Yeah. So we made that programme.
Yes.
Do you remember we had to read his book, didn't we, thoroughly?
Yes.
Because the thing with Frank is he would ask you questions and just
you had to know.
You had to know everything that was in that book because you didn't know what he was going to ask you, did you?
No. He did threaten to burn our house down.
He did, but that's another story. We'll leave that for another time.
He said that we hadn't paid him, but in actual fact we had paid him the day before. But then he said, "I'm only joking." He had kind of like a funny sense of humour, So, did you like him?
I found him very cold.
Yeah.
But he was always polite.
Oh yeah, charming.
But you just knew that you weren't going to be having a laugh and a joke with him.
No, he was.
It really was business. It was making the programme, and because of course we got the victims in, and they told their side of the story. He really wasn't happy about that, was he?
And it's amazing with all those characters that we had in that production. A lot of them are no longer with us.
Was Roy Shaw in that one?
He refused to go in. He didn't want to be saying anything good about Frank or bad about Frank.
Right.
He was very much like, I don't want to comment about Mad Frank Fraser, so he didn't go in. I'm not sure if he went in when we did a later re-release or something like that, and then he was all right about it.
Right.
I think that's what happens. So that's a bit of our background, folks, and as I say, we're going to put the link in the description below. So if you want to watch that documentary on Amazon Prime, it's a really good documentary. There's so many people in it that are true crime names and no longer with us. In actual fact, like Eric Mason. Yeah, Tony Lambriano was in that as well. So now, what is happening? Tell us what we've got some releases out, haven't we? On Prime.
Do we?
Yes, we do. Ladies That Punch.
Oh, yes.
Ladies That Punch. Now, we don't only do YouTube, but what we also do is put stuff out on the streaming channels. Yeah. So they got, all these different kind of channels all over the world and stuff like that. And our latest release that's gone out on Amazon Prime is called Ladies That Punch, and we'll put the link in below. And that's all about ladies boxing, and it was done in conjunction with Alan Mortlot from the IBA, because we make programs with Alan for London Live TV for Sky.
Yes, every year we do that. So I was just trying to give you a little bit of the flavour of what we do, because we do a lot of filming.
Yeah, a lot of different things.
Yeah, a lot of different things.
You presented on that London Live channel, didn't you?
They fired me. They fired me.
Yeah. We
can't. My breasts weren't big enough. I can't work it out. It was a woman came in, and and you know what happens when new people come in, and she didn't want me.
She didn't want you. Yeah. But we managed to sneak you back in later episodes.
Just to wind her up, really.
So and also we've had a thing called Fighting in Their 50s, which is about to go on Amazon Prime, and that's about all the boxers and stuff that we film, we fight, and they're age 50. So that is hopefully it's starting to be taken up by streaming channels. So that's really good. Now the other thing that we do, which we've only done recently, we really would love you to subscribe to this, is that we do podcasts, don't we?
Yeah, we do podcasts
audio
now.
ones. Yeah, so it's just you don't actually see us, which is normal.
You're normal for us. But over the years that we have interviewed so many fascinating people. Roy Shaw was really interesting. I mean, it does sound like we're going on a lot about the past, but obviously we've got a load of new stuff up there as well. Yes. What new stuff have we got up there?
What new stuff have we got coming up? Well, this week, and I just want to go back to this podcast thing. You've taken me off.
That's what I meant. The new podcast.
Well, you're doing one with Kelly McLean this week.
Yes, Kelly McLean, the lovely Kelly McLean. So we interviewed Kelly about a year and a half ago.
That's Lenny McLean's daughter, for those that don't know.
And then we, because she had a book out, so we interviewed Kelly, and then I went back and we've started to work with Kelly again.
Yes.
I'm not going to say too much at the moment, but she is so lovely.
Oh, she's wonderful, isn't she?
Oh, fascinating. And the insight to Lenny is quite incredible. A lot of stories that you haven't heard that hopefully we'll be bringing to you as well really soon.
And some great footage that's never been seen before.
Home footage. Yeah. Obviously, Lenny, spine in the gym. All sorts. Round the table at Christmas. Kelly's birthday parties. Really great footage we've got.
So we're going to be doing that. And so, but going back to the point.
The podcast.
You can see them on, I'm looking down here, on Apple, on Spotify, on Audible.
And
it's called British Gangsters. So it's British Gangsters. So if you type in on the web British Gangsters, Liam Galvin or Yvette Rowland, you will then come through. And if you were to subscribe to that, it'd be fantastic. Or watch the episodes. But I think we've done, and we've only been doing it recently, we've done 25 episodes now.
Yeah, but we have so many great interviews, and we're going to put also all our back catalogue on there.
Yes.
But we've got some fascinating interviews. So if you're having a long drive, you're at home and you're bored, please subscribe.
And you know what's different about these interviews, say, to other people, because the difference with us to maybe other channels that just do podcasts, and I'm not knocking them for that because it's fantastic what they do, is that we go out and film stuff. So that we not only go and do the interviews, we'll go and film the boxing, or we'll go and film rallies, or this, that, and the other. So on the podcasts that are on the audio channels, they are, live at various locations. So they may not be kind of as slick as others, because obviously we could be interviewing somebody in a warehouse
in a pub, racetrack. I mean, just where they allow you to interview them. And a lot of these people are difficult to get hold of. So the fact that they will give you,
dictate to it.
If they give you half an hour, you go, I'll be there, and they give you the address, you just go. So like you say, it's not slick and studio and all the rest of it, but
it's real, as they say, folks. Real.
Do they say raw these days?
Raw. Raw is better than real.
Oh, I like that. Well done.
Thank you. Now, we're going to move on to something else, which in actual fact, Yvette has been banging on about a lot of the time, isn't it? It's sponsorship. Which we've never done before.
Never thought about.
Because we've always, I don't know why we've never asked.
It's just mad, isn't it?
Yeah, we've never asked for sponsorship.
That's why we live in a tent.
Yeah, that's why we go to the cash point to pay, to get the petrol, to get down, to meet the people. We have never, ever ask for sponsorship. But then we look at all these channels, and then they start their programs by immediately saying, you know, make sure if you could sponsor us and this, that, and the other. Yeah. I know we've never done it. It's never occurred to me. I mean, and so she's been banging on about it, and totally right, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm totally right, actually.
So what could they do? And what's the point of it all?
The sponsorship. Well, if you are somebody who really enjoys watching all the different content that we offer, because as Liam says, we're out and about in London. You know, we're meeting different characters, and you would like to sponsor us. You can either there's a buy me a coffee link.
Which is like £2 you can do, so that you're £3 or something like that. Or if you actually want to sponsor not just this weekly thing, but everything that we film, so that, you know, we'd wear a T-shirt or something.
You've got a small business that you want us to talk about, advertise. We
can talk about it on every single thing that we film, and our viewership is on YouTube is about, what is it? It varies from between 500,000 to 1 million views a month. Sometimes it's 1.3 million. During very popular times, it's been up to 2.5 million. So you've got this huge outlet of mainly blokes. Apparently, it's about 90%, isn't it? Something like that. 10%. I
think so. Yeah.
That's why. She's here.
That's why I normally live under the cupboard. In the cupboard. Sorry, under the stairs. But I'm out today. But we would love some sponsorship.
It would really help us, because it helped with the petrol, help with the fares, and and if you want us to wear a certain T-shirt, or if you want us to talk about product or something during the show. Like, in actual fact, what did I get offered? To be fair, you were offered. I was offered a free hair transplant. I was.
I mean, you can't get better than that, can you?
No, they wanted me to fly. I think it was like
Germany.
It was in Germany. Germany. Yeah. I mean, didn't get any money out of it, but in actual fact, you got a free hair transplant, and then you could talk about how wonderful it was to have a hair transplant.
But I can see looking at you that you didn't say yes.
I didn't take it up. No, I didn't take it up. So, but look.
Thank God I did.
So if you want to sponsor us, we could wear a T-shirt. So, and actually it's kind of weird for us to even ask for something like that.
I feel we're begging. Should we change the subject?
Yeah, change the subject. If
right.
you do, just drop us an email or something, or let us know, and we'll punt whatever you want us to punt. Now, subscriber questions. Now, this is an interesting thing, or comments on our channel. Obviously, we have to go with what YouTube say. They have community guidelines. So if you want your comments to be seen all the time, and we want you to have your comments seen, best not to use F words, C words, this, that, and the other, or be particularly slagging of something, because they just don't get on.
And we don't, and often we just don't see. People say to us, how come you haven't replied or responded?
You've deleted stuff.
We haven't seen it.
Because it goes into a different section. It goes into held back comments and stuff like that. Now, we just put a video up yesterday, a very, very popular video about the gentleman Peter Lynch. You may not know, he died in prison after attending a what would you call it, a demonstration.
I
mean, other people are calling it a riot, but it was a demonstration in the summer. He died, and we filmed Peter Lynch, who, God bless him, and obviously our condolences to his family. Terrible, terrible thing. He passed away in prison. But years ago, 2018 or something, I used to bump into Peter at the rallies, because he was very pro-Brexit, and also, after Brexit went through, the fact is that it was never implemented, and he was always demonstrating about that. And I did an interview with him in the street, actually in Trafalgar Square, and also filmed him outside Downing Street where he was protesting.
With his son, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was with his son, and I wanted to put it up because obviously he's been getting a lot of publicity in the papers, and they're portraying him in a certain way. And the thing of what we love about doing this channel is the fact is that we get to meet the people, and we don't have opinions on them. We talk to them, we get their viewpoint, we let them speak for themselves. And he did in this. He did a nice interview, only a couple of minutes in the street, just off Trafalgar Square.
And also, can I just say, when you watch, it makes him real. So, because otherwise, as we all know, you get painted. It's in the papers, or you hear it on the news. That people get painted these days a certain way, and you're supposed to think of them that way. So it's really nice to see the real person, and to see how passionate he was for his kids and his grandkids to have a better future. So it gives you a much more rounded sense of who he was.
And in this particular thing, he's talking about Brexit. But obviously, if you're commenting on that, it's a very, very sensitive sensitive subject, and you know, just be careful on your comments, because you know nowadays how difficult it is, you know, to comment truthfully. Don't be too extreme about it, you know, because it's a very sensitive issue. But you know, we
it's
welcome
a very difficult time at the moment.
Yeah,
for podcasters.
Absolutely,
really
we've got to adhere to the YouTube community guidelines and this, that, and the other. So that's, God bless him. I'm going to be talking to Richard Imman again this week. Richard is part of the, he was an ex-soldier, but he's got his own channel as well, which you should subscribe to, and he organises part of these rallies.
Yes,
and stuff
he
like
meets with the police and just to see what guidelines and stuff
Absolutely.
like that.
But it's not... We don't really talk about, in the interview that we did, I wanted to find out about Richard as a person. You know, because he'd served in the army and all of that. So that's an interesting thing. We've got part 2 coming up this week. Also got another Army Falklands veteran coming on. Sully Al-Haji.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, came from Wallsend, didn't he? Which is your neck of the woods.
It's where I was born.
Absolutely. Yes, in 23 years ago.
That's very good. I thought you were going to say 1923. It probably would have been closer.
He was a lieutenant colonel in the parachute regiment, and served in the Falklands. So I'm really interested. You know, I love all that history and the bravery of the servicemen who go into the Falklands and all that. It's fantastic, isn't it? You know, we forget that. I mean, these people really, you know, and they're out on the streets and all of that. I mean, it's just terrible. But he's a bit of a hero. We've also got more from the Brendan McGurr's tribute night to Dave Courtney, which happened at Charlton Athletic Football Club, which I filmed.
Yes, that was Sunday night. So we've got some more footage. We put some footage up the other day from when you were there.
Yes.
And Brendan has sent us some more footage.
You know, we knew him very, very well. We'd known him. It was actually one of the first interviews that we ever did, was back in, bringing us back to that Mad Frankie Fraser programme.
In
about 2001.
And then we went on to make a documentary on Dave.
Yeah, Dave Courtney's Dodgy DVD.
I remember
two of them.
I remember the first time we met him. We pulled up at the house. We weren't really quite sure what to expect. And Dave's Rolls Royce was at the front, and the boot was open. And I can see him standing there now. And he was going into the boot and collecting his shopping from Tesco. But
did we have to carry it in?
But he asked us to carry it in. And of course, Liam said, absolutely not, didn't you?
Did I? Yeah, no. I think I probably carried that
carried it in.
I probably carried all bags.
All of them. In fact, there were so many that some were on your back. You just said it and you didn't even whimper.
He was quite scary then, wasn't he?
But, he was really scary then.
But we got to know him really, really well, and he's a huge loss for us. And tell him the story. We were doing some filming on a motor car. And the last time I think that you saw him was at this, what was it, kind of like a race thing, wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah, was that last April or May?
Something like that, yeah.
Well, it was a beautiful hot summer's day. It was in Oxfordshire, and it was on an airfield right behind this very posh, exclusive restaurant.
And they were going to race these two Lamborghinis. It was for a documentary we were making.
And Dave was there, and I remember, and so you were filming, and Dave was there, and Dave came over to me, and I had a conversation with Dave. I don't want to give too much because it was between Dave and I.
Yes.
But
he was very kind, wasn't he?
He was very kind, and he said how much he loved you.
Oh,
actually.
well, yeah.
And that you had always been there and loyal, and just I'm not going to give too much more. But I remember thinking at the time, and Dave and I always got on really well. I have great fond memories of Dave. But I remember thinking at the time that this conversation felt a bit special, and I knew there was something not quite right. And of course, that was the last time that I saw Dave.
Yeah, and I did about 10 podcasts. We used to do a sort of once every 10-day podcast, and I did a podcast up to about 10 days before his death. And the last podcast I did with him, which was just over Zoom, I cut it way down because he wasn't himself.
No, he didn't have the
energy or the zest for life or anything.
He didn't have like the light behind his eyes.
No.
Dave had the most amazing blue eyes.
Yeah.
Do you remember? And they were, piercing and full of life, vitality, and the light was going, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I remember saying to you, I said, he's not
the same.
He's not right, and I didn't want to put it out like that.
Yeah.
So I hope you've enjoyed this little chat that we've had. We just want to get to you for you to get to know us better. You know, we've always been behind the camera. Although in the last year I've started to go in front of the camera. And you know what was great? By going in front of the camera, going to that Dave Courtney event the other day, I had so many nice people come over to me having a chat about the channel, nice taxi drivers and other people and stuff like that, coming over to me saying that they really enjoyed the channel. So look, if you've got any subscriber questions, put them in the comments below. Also, you know, if you want to sponsor us for £2.50 or whatever you want, please do, and subscribe to us and check out our audio Spotify stuff.
Yes, please. Please. And
also, can I tell you, folks?
What?
Yvette has her own channel as well, YouTube channel, which, you know, she interviews lots of ladies, but, you know, people like Flanagan, yeah, you did, you know, Kelly McLean, you know, Nina.
Flanagan tells some fascinating stories about obviously the craze, but also being at Reg Craze wedding and what really happened there. That was hysterical. That was, but some great stories. Check out mine, Yvette Rowland channel, and Kelly's on there as well. And does this mean that now that we've done this, I have to go back under?
You do. You have to go back under the stairs. So that's it. So from us, me, Liam, and the lovely
Yvette,
we're going to see you every week. So it's been fantastic talking to you. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon.
Bye bye.